Hello, everyone. Thanks for this impromptu special edition of Zeno Nation with my usual co-host Marcus Crawford. We thought we'd just kind of pop in here. We got some unexpected news today. I know we just did a show last night, but early this morning I got a message from my friend Perth West OZRC. That's his YouTube channel, Dave G. On he contacted me on Facebook. He said, "Did you see what I just posted?" He posted this on the Zeno Nation Facebook page this morning. A leaked photo of a Hubson promotional material here. What it looks like. Marcus, did you see this? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, so I looked it over, Ron, and there's some significant changes here. I sure wish we knew about more about release date, etc. But this is probably what we would have hoped for the next iteration of the Zino. Not discounting the Zino Pro. It's bringing some cool things to the table, but it is evolutionary. This one is even a few steps beyond that. So fascinating stuff.
Yes, and what's really fascinating is they haven't even got the Zino Pro out the door yet. No reviewers, no end users, nobody has a video up on it yet, as far as we know. I mean, I'm sure it's in somebody's hands that's under NDA testing it, but nobody has it that they can show it yet. So, this is really interesting. They already have the next generation out, the third generation. But I was thinking after we talked earlier today, Marcus, I wonder if they're going to have like a whole line of Xenos, like say DJI has Mavics. Maybe they'll keep the Zino Basic around, they'll have a Pro around, and then they'll have the Mavic 2 around, and they'll all be different price points for different users.
I would suspect that the basic Zino would go away because it's so close to the Zino Pro. I'm not sure if that would make sense. And really probably from a manufacturing perspective, how big of a price difference they'd really be splitting a hair there. But it's possible. What do we know, right? This is all just conjecture.
What if they could take the Zino 1 and really budget it? What if they could, put that as a budget 199 quad or something like this, that just to
if they could get down like that, it would sell like hotcakes, no question about it. Yeah,
right. And I was probably wishful thinking my part, because if this is going to be an addition to the line, maybe this thing will come out sooner than you would think. When I first thought this morning, I thought, this won't be out for 6 months to a year, whatever. But again, if they're going to have both quads at different price points in the line, then maybe this will come sooner than we had hoped for.
Very, very possible, and could be a sly little marketing trick on Hubson's part. They're slipping out that Hubson Pro, knowing that there's a lot of fans out there, including you and me, that'll probably buy it, and then if 2 months later they throw this out, hey, they know those same people will probably buy this one too. So, I mean, I know I would fit into that category. So,
yeah. Can you spell buyer's remorse, huh?
Well, you know what? I was thinking about that, Ron. After you and I talked earlier, I thought, well, gosh, if I could go ahead and cancel my Zino Pro order right now, would I? And you know what? I came to the conclusion that I probably wouldn't, because it's still going to be an evolutionary drone that I'm interested in. And it's at a price point that's not so crazy. It's not like you're spending $1,000 on it. So, I think I'm going to be happy to see that drone when it shows up, and I'll be happy to see this one when it shows up as well.
Right, and I don't want to overstate anything here. I mean, this Zino 2 Pro may not be real. It may never show up. It could all be a April Fool's joke or whatever. We don't know. I mean, we just heard about it today. I mean, the photos look interesting, but again, we don't really know anything outside of this thing just got leaked out today. If it's even real. So
you want to talk about what we see on the page there, Ron? That's kind of interesting. And
exactly. We're going to run down the specs of the features of the maybe non-existent or existent drone. I don't want to be. I'm not trying to be a downer here. I just don't want to talk like this is absolutely coming out tomorrow, whatever. Who knows? So, okay, well, we'll start off with the specs here. But actually, before we even get to specs, I'm going to speculate. There's a thing there. On the front of the Zino, above the camera, it has a little black bar there that looks like it could be an optical. I mean, not optical flow. What do you call that? A
obstacle avoidance sensor.
Obstacle, yeah, I don't want to get the word obstacle avoidance sensor, even though it doesn't say anything in the specs about it. It sure looks like it could be one, or it could just be for looks. But okay, Marcus, take it away with the camera.
Yeah, so you and I talked about this earlier. The big specification that this drone could hang its hat on that everybody's looking for, and I know the Autel Evo has it. Even the I'm trying to remember, Ron, what drones actually have it, but
the Mavic Air has it.
Mavic Air has it, 4K 60 frames per second, which is a big deal, and that would be something that this drone could really promote, and that it could differentiate itself from some other products. Things like
well, no drone in his other drone in his price class has it, so it would be the first. It would be I think the cheapest drone you could get 4K 60 would be the Mavic Air, which is what, an $800 drone.
919 right now.
Yeah, I forgot tariffs.
Yeah. So that'd be a big deal. The one that kind of cracked me up is they're bragging about firmware updates through the app, which everybody else has been doing for a while. And anybody that owns a Zino always kind of dreads those firmware updates because it's well, I guess once you do it a few times, it's not that big a deal, but it is a process, and you never know what you're going to get, right?
I mean, that is a nice feature, and that'll help them reach a wider audience of people who don't want to get a Windows laptop out and do stuff from 1995 to get their drone updated.
Yeah.
So the next feature would be that let me pull it in so I can get these letters correct. TOF and optical flow positioning. Now, we talked this morning. We have no idea what TOF means, but of course, everybody wanted optical flow on the Zino because of the famous Hudson drop from the barometer-based Zino 1. As far as we know, the Zino Pro will still have the barometer doing all the altitude hold for us. So this will be a welcome addition, don't you think, Marcus?
I totally agree. But as you and I have discussed before, it's something that mostly helps the drone when it's within 10 or 15 feet of the ground. If it's much further above that, it doesn't really make much of a difference to the drone. So.
Yeah. And I'll throw this in real fast. I don't want to get talking about the JGRC Aurora, but I heard today, again, I don't know if this is true or not, that the optical flow sensors on the Aurora only work if you have an altitude hold. If you have it in GPS, they don't work.
Well, now that's interesting, isn't it?
Right. Well, that would, and they say that's for indoor flying. So you could fly the Aurora indoors without GPS using the optical flow. But again, that's unconfirmed. But I don't want to digress to the Aurora. I just would never say that again if I didn't say it now. So the next feature after the optical flow is what, Marcus?
Well, the one that's more interesting to me probably is that battery life. I mean, the rest of the stuff that they list there, I think, is got things that we've seen. Hyperlapse is new, right? But
I think that the Pro will have the hyperlapse, but so it's still new because the Pro's not here yet. But here we'll talk about the increased battery life, but also don't skip over the intelligent battery.
So it does say intelligent battery on there.
Battery. So what that'll do for us is right now, if you don't fly the Zino, if you charge a battery and let it sit, it won't discharge to a safe thing on its own. It'll just say stay fully charged, and you could have issues. But if with this intelligent battery, after a week or 10 days, it'll discharge itself to a safe storage charge, which is just like DJI drones. That's great. And as Marcus touched on, it says longer battery life. If you look at the little icon of the clock, it has a 33 in there. So I'm guessing that means 33-minute flight time, which would be something major. What do you think, Marcus?
Well, in Hubson speak, I'm going to say it, Ron. I'd be tickled to death if you got 20 minutes out of it, but we'll see. I mean, like you said, I just saw that icon that you're talking about, lower battery fail-safe. Oh no, that just means fail-safe return.
Yeah.
There I see intelligent battery up on top there.
Yeah, it's right above the long battery life.
Yeah, I see that now, Ron. So okay, well that is good news. So maybe that there is way more battery life than what we have seen previously.
Yeah. Well, again, even if they lie by 10 minutes, if it got 23 minutes of battery life,
that'd be great. Yeah.
Yeah, outstanding or whatever.
Yeah.
I'll let you cover the you can halfway see here, but talk about the controller.
Yeah, so the controller is kind of interesting there because you can see it looks like it has some kind of a panel above the in between the gimbals. Is that an LCD panel or something that gives you a drone status? Obviously, we don't have a good enough look here to really tell, but it'll be interesting to find out that the look of the controller itself is very familiar to us. Although I'm looking at those gimbals look like they're metallic as opposed to the plastic ones that we have on the current controller. So, yeah, I mean, who really knows? It'll be exciting to get more news on this and see what we can get it in our hands. But it is exciting news. And Ron, I would like to hear your opinion. I suspect, like every other, just like the current Zino, the success or failure of this drone is really price point dependent.
Yes. I mean, they have to, I mean, the Zino and even the Zino Pro, they really have to compete hard on price. But at this price point, I mean, with all the features here, they could probably go a little higher. Now, you pointed out that, you can buy the Fimi X8 for just a little over $400. I mean, that's not the list price. That's just the price it gets sold for.
Right. List price was $499 though, so not that much more.
Yeah. So so if they list this at $499, this is somewhat of the equivalent of the Fimi X8, except as you pointed out, if it has the same motors as the Zino 1, it's not as powerful as the X8, and the X8 has almost all these features except, well, I don't know. Well, we know the X8 doesn't have 4K 60. Does the X8 have intelligent batteries?
It does, yeah. In fact, I found that out the hard way here recently. I'd charged my batteries about a week and a half ago, and when I went to fly yesterday, they were at about 75%.
Oh, okay. We got Senator Perry in here. It says TOF means time of flight.
Oh, really? Time of flight and optical flow. So what the heck? So what?
Yeah, I don't know why they go in the same sentence. And Bill Thomas, Bill's in here, but he said optical flow stops working after 10 meters on most drones. Yeah, and he is correct, and that's why I heard. And and people think that, okay, well, optical flow doesn't have a barometer. These drones still have barometers. It's just on the optical flow ones, the barometer takes over after you get above the 10 meters, as Bill pointed out here. Oh, yeah. Senator Perry saying too, of a type of, he's guessing. He says a type of camera.
Yeah. Huh, I'll be darned. Well, that's interesting. And I'm going to answer Bill Thomas. Well, hell yes, Bill, I'm going to buy all three.
I wonder if they would kickstart this Zino 2 here. Get on a good Kickstarter on it.
Yeah, who knows? I think, what I think, Ron? I think they ought to send one out to the two folks in Zino Nation, and while they're at it, they ought to send one out to Drone Therapy. And who's been a big promoter of the Zino is John Coopy. I think we all ought to. Hubson ought to send them out to us and put us on an NDA.
Yeah, and they should send one over to the Coast to Coast Drones to Bill Thomas. He's a big fan of the Zino 1. I'm sure he would be more than happy to test it out for us.
Yeah, that's what I said. They need to send one to Drone Therapy so that they can, the Coast to Coast Drones can check it out.
Bill's going to take the SkyDo 2 to the Philippines in April. Leave an extra spot in that bag for the Zino Pro. I mean the Zino 2 by that point.
Yeah.
But I mean, this could, this could really be the Zino everybody really wanted or whatever, and keep it in the under $500 ballpark.
Depends on the price. If this thing comes out at $999, yeah, good luck.
Yeah, well, that's not going to, yeah, we know that's not going to happen. And the thing is that with stuff out of the market, the Chinese market like this, the initial list price doesn't mean anything. It only means something if you're going to be the first one to buy it.
Yeah.
Once any of these drones are out 6 months, none of them ever sell for that list price.
Yeah, they were already discounting the Zino Pro before anybody ever even got one. Banggood had it like for $369, I believe.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So again,
it's going to be in 6 months or even in 2 months. Heck, it'll probably be.
So I think their strategy, they would only make a high list price on this. So when they discount, it would make like they were given a great discount.
Yeah.
So if you're not, again, just don't be the first one to buy this, and wait until it's in good availability, and then there'll be the usual price wars out of the the Banggoods and GearBest and Tom Tops of the world.
Yeah, interesting stuff. I mean, it sure looks like the real deal to me. This is too good of information, I think, and I mean this picture that we see and the other picture that we saw with it. They had a big picture of it on the wall of their display at the Hong Kong Electronics Show. So I'm quite sure it's a deal. Why they wouldn't have announced it already? Maybe that's because they don't want to stop people from buying the Zino Pro. Maybe because there probably are a lot of people that would wait. I would suspect.
Yeah. Oh, I definitely, and I don't want to discourage anybody that wants to buy the Zino Pro, because this may not come out for a year. This may never come out. I mean, I'm certainly not telling anybody to cancel their Zino Pro orders, because this is all vaporware until it actually, till you can actually buy it someplace. Exciting stuff.
Hey, Ron, so can I take just a second? And Bill brought up the SkyDo 2. I will and talk about my flight today with the Mavic 2 Zoom.
Oh, we would love to hear about the Mavic 2 Zoom.
Well, so I was really, like everybody else, I'm so excited about the SkyDo 2, and I'm glad that we got in early on that first round of orders. But I got to thinking, I already have a drone with 360-degree obstacle avoidance. I've had one. That's that Mavic 2, right? Well, I'll bet you most of us, I've been afraid to really test the obstacle avoidance on that thing. And today I thought, you know what? This is the time. So I put it in follow me mode and activated the APAS. And of course, when you put it in follow me, it activates all of the the obstacle avoidance sensors on it. And I went down to Heroes Park in the parking lot and walked in between the trees and the light poles, and it was pretty successful at following me and going around different obstacles. It was really fun. Oh, wow. Now it lost me a couple times when I got completely out of the way. It would lose me and it would just stop. But then as soon as it saw you again, it would put a dot on you, and you touch the dot, and then it's got you again. So anyway, kind of fun. It was just fun, a fun little test that, as long as I've owned that Mavic, I've never tried it. And I thought, well, shoot, it's about time.
That's a good point. I've had, I haven't had the Mavic 2 as long as you have, but the only time I hear the obstacle avoidance sensors go off is on takeoff and landing.
Give it a shot, Ron. I mean, you're not going to crash it. It'll stop before it, before it hits something. It may lose you and not be able to follow you completely around the other side. Right. But anyway,
I'll be looking forward to when you test the head-to-head against the SkyDo 2.
Well, we've already seen that video in the SkyDo commercial, haven't we?
We have. Greg joined us a little while ago. He said, "Hello, guys. I missed a short recap of Bill Thomas told Zino 2, and it's loaded." I like that when Bill says it's loaded. This is a loaded up budget drone for sure, right? This has more specs than, I don't know, some DJI drones had 2 years ago.
Well, it's, I would say that you're starting to get into the realm of the original Mavic, although the original Mavic had obstacle avoidance, front-facing obstacle avoidance. The camera on this could be a little bit better. I mean, obviously the original Mavic certainly wouldn't shoot 60 frames per second, but the camera quality was pretty good. So we don't know what this one will.
What the bit rate is on
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's there, but the point of it is, I'm going to stress price point. If it's at a really competitive price point, they won't be able to keep them on the shelf.
Oh yeah, you're right. This could be a real breakout for them if they get it out in time before somebody else makes something just as good or better.
So, yeah, Senator Perry just brought that up in the chat. He said, Mavic Mini's price will be the key to Zino's future, and I absolutely agree with that. And obviously, and Bill Thomas is hearing conflicting things about the specs, and that's true. It'll be interesting to see when that Mavic Mini comes out, what the specs are, and I hate to say it, but they really do kind of hold the future of some of these other brands in their hands. I mean, and where they can price them.
And I'll just speculate that the Mavic Mini won't have 4K 60.
I think you're absolutely right. They're not going to bring out a 60 frames per second on their bargain drone. That's for sure.
Right. So, and maybe this may be their own battery life, just because I think it's going to be a much bigger quad than the Mavic.
Yeah, based on what we see here, I think you're right. Yeah.
Bill saying it has to have a 4K 30, the Mavic Mini, or it won't jump. I mean, if they release the Mavic Mini at 1080p only, they'll have the biggest firestorm ever from users complaining about that or whatever. So I totally agree with Bill Thomas.
Yeah, I guess who knows, but yeah, I bet it would be a 4K. I can't believe that they wouldn't put 4K on there because it's so ubiquitous now. But you never know.
Okay, if you have, we got to run here. Gonna make this short one. I have to get ready for dinner, and Bill has to take. Bill, sorry, Bill. Marcus has to take a little bit of a break because he's going to be going live in just a little over an hour on Rotor Talk.
Yeah.
Rotor Talk Live. Sorry, spit it out. So, do you have any closing thoughts before we get out of here, Marcus?
I'll tell you, as long of a year as it's been without new drones, it sure is getting exciting all of a sudden, isn't it?
It sure is heating up for the holidays, huh?
Yeah. I'm sure that we'll have plenty to talk about at Spin Up.
My only closing thought is, I don't want to get everybody. I want to say this is definitely coming and it's totally true. I don't want to mislead anybody, but I sure hope it is.
Yep.
So, okay, on that note, go ahead, take a break, and come back 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over at Rotor Talk Live at Bill the Drone Reviewers channel, and I'm sure they'll dive into this a little bit more tonight. So,
hey, we should also take note that Bill Thomas is saying that he's going live with Film Sensei tonight as well.
What time, Bill?
So hopefully he'll type it in there.
Film Sets is his editing specials, editing guru. So if you want to learn anything about editing your your video, go over there and learn some tricks, take some notes, and show us your work. So as soon as Bill throws that time in there, we'll get off here. Well, you can just go over to Coast to Coast. You can just go over to the Coast to Coast Facebook page. I'm sure the time and website are linked there, and or just go over to his the Coast to Coast YouTube channel. Maybe it's a promo video there. So it won't be hard to find time. So, all right, everyone. Thanks for joining us for this quick, Zino 2 show. And if we get any more information, Well, or more rumors. I should say information. We have rumors. This is rumor nation tonight. So
that is, it's all rumors. Let's make that clear. We don't know anything.
Rumor nation. If we get any more juicy rumors, we'll get back to you. So good night. Thanks, and see everybody later.
Bye now.